Welcome everybody. This is Glenn Ackerman, Energy Awareness Training, going live. We're going live tonight on a special Sunday broadcast. So welcome everybody. Tonight we're going to be talking about how energy awareness training gives you the unfair advantage in business. So anybody who's interested in business, in earning income, in commerce, in being better at your job, anything that connected to that, go ahead and listen in. We're going to be giving you some incredible revelations and tools for you to be able to access, and I think you're going to love this broadcast. I've never really presented this information to the public at large of how being energetically aware affects business, and tonight I'm going to be. So I invite you to lay back and enjoy yourselves and learn something amazing. So as I do with every broadcast, I'm going to start with a song while people are coming on. And I'd like to welcome everybody who is coming on here. Appreciate it. Ivar, hey, you're back. We're doing it again. So as people are coming on, I'm going to do an encore number of what I did earlier. That famous Beatles tune that everybody loves while everybody's coming on. Here comes the sun, here comes the sun, and I say it's all right. Little darling, it's been a long, long, lonely winter. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been clear. Here comes the sun, here comes the sun, and I say it's all right. Welcome everybody. We're just going to get started momentarily on energy awareness training and the unfair advantage it gives you in business. So do a couple more verses of this song, then we'll begin. Little darling, the smiles returning to their faces. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, here comes the sun, and I say it's all right. It's all right. Sun, 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 here we come. 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 Little darling, I see that ice is slowly melting. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, here comes the sun, and I say it's all right. Here comes the sun, here comes the sun, and I say it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. All right, there's the song opening up for our broadcast today. Welcome everybody. Tonight's topic is energy awareness training and how it gives you the unfair advantage in business. So I want to welcome everybody coming on. Amy, welcome. Glad you're here. Dante's joining. Alex, John, more. All the guys who were with me earlier today are with me now. wonderful. You're going to learn a lot, and this is going to amaze you. It amazes me every time I talk about this. Water. So let's get started. Energy awareness training in business. All right. So let's clearly define our terms here. In business, what do we do in business? We create activities, we create actions to get jobs done, right? To earn income, to create commerce, and activities of being able to recognize opportunities, to put together plans for businesses, for real estate, for banking, for, all the gamut from A to Z. Okay, all familiar with business. Now, I mention these things, you might say, well, that's kind of obvious, but this is important because there are certain things that we do in business, and all of those things are energetically related. Okay, and you've never ever taken a class on energy awareness, first off, and second off, energy awareness and how it gives you the unfair advantage in business. So let's first discuss what we do in business. Well, as a businessman or woman, business person, what we want to do is whatever our business is, whatever we sell or whatever we give to the marketplace, whatever product or service we bring to the marketplace, we're trying to create a service. Hopefully the intention is to be able to bring our product or service to the marketplace so that the marketplace will recognize the value for what we do and then want to do business with us, want to spend money to acquire our business or products or services. Okay. All right. So as business people, we constantly every day have to make decisions on what the best plan of action is, don't we? So, and even if you don't have a business, even if you're working a job, you're still working a career, you're still in the business world, and you still have responsibilities. When somebody's paying you to do something, they're paying you for your expertise and to do a particular job. And whatever the job or the business is, it requires some of the same fundamentals. The ability to recognize if you're performing correctly, the ability to be able to get to communicate your idea, your vision, or your product, or your service, the ability to make decisions. You have to make decisions. All of us, especially the more responsibility you have to make decisions over policies or people or procedures type like that. Okay, and that comes with the process of being able to recognize what's working, what's not working, what would be a good fit, what wouldn't be a good fit, et cetera, et cetera. So there's a lot that goes on here. And business, just like the weather, is a moving target, which means it's never quite the same. Conditions are always changing in business, as we can see right now. If you were in the transistor radio business 20 years ago, that business is over. No more of that. In fact, if you were Radio Shack, remember Radio Shack? They were around, boy, since I was a kid. You go down, if you needed a radio or a tape player, or you needed batteries or, some kind of widget, just go down to Radio Shack, down the street and pick it up. Well, now conditions have changed. There's no more Radio Shack. Radio Shack's gone, so you have to adjust to conditions. So conditions are always changing. And this is important because you want to stay relevant in your business, what's happening with the biggest trend today, is tomorrow's afterthought. You remember MySpace, for example. Once upon a time, that was one of the hottest, sites in the world. Everybody was going to MySpace, right? And then they made some decisions to do things or not to do things. And those decisions that they made, unfortunately, were not good decisions in hindsight. So what happened? They became virtually extinct. And then another service, Facebook, and the other sites came on and took the market lead. Boy, that's happened so much. Remember that when Yahoo used to be the go-to site when you needed information, everybody would go to Yahoo to look up, any information you need. Now Google came along, boom, Yahoo pretty much is at its peak. Yahoo was there was an offer for Yahoo from Google for, I think, $5 billion at its peak, $5 billion, and now it was, the conditions had changed, markets has changed, people have changed, conditions have changed. I think it was sold for like 300 million, something like that. That's a big devaluation from 5 billion to 300 million. Holy smokes. Now, how did that happen? Because somebody had to make a decision based upon what they were able to see, hear, and identify market conditions. And the guy who turned down the $5 billion offer from Google, who was running Yahoo at the time, made a big mistake. He had someone who was going to give him $5 billion with a B for the company, and he said, no, it's all right. No. Because he thought, oh, I'll be bigger than that. The point being is that he made a decision based upon whatever the factors were that were going on in his head, and he made the wrong decision. And it cost shareholders billions of dollars. Okay? So in work or in business, we have to make decisions. And we have to make decisions. A lot of them are educated guesses on which way the markets are going to go, or in which way the business climate's going to go, which way the economy is going to go, et cetera, et cetera. And it's the same thing in your job when you're building your career up. You know, if you work for a company, you know, you want to make the right moves. You want to establish relationships with people who can help you, with people who are, you know, in a good place in the company, and you want to stay away from people who are going the opposite direction, or what I call low vibration energy. We'll talk about that here. So you're constantly having to make moves, you know, all the time. Is this the right thing to do? Should I initiate this project, or should I trust this person, or should I hire this person? All decisions that you have to make in business. So some people make great decisions. You know, there are people who are right a lot. They make the right decisions. And as a result, many of them are billionaires right now, because they're able to size up a situation or size up an opportunity and know if it's something worth doing or something not worth doing. So the unfair advantage comes here when we become what I call energetically aware. Energetically aware. We're going to talk about energetic awareness here in a second. Just want to welcome Amy on the call. Gus, you're with me again. Cindy, good to see you. Thank you for being with me. Dawn, all right, one of my favorite gals in the whole world. Welcome, everybody. We're talking about business and energetic awareness. So if you just come on, welcome. You missed my great song, but you'll be able to hear it on the replay. Did a good version of Here Comes the Sun by George Harrison. All right, unfair advantage in business. So in business, isn't it a lot where it's about being able to navigate conditions? And that's what we do as human beings personally. We're navigating conditions. So as we go out in the world, we're going, okay, is the weather safe, or is it going to rain, or do I have enough gas in the car, and am I appropriately dressed, and am I going to be on time, and did I eat enough, or am I going to be hungry later? There's all these calculations that we're making about how to operate, and so many of these factors intertwine. Like, for example, you know, if I didn't have breakfast this morning, you know, and I have a late morning meeting where I need to concentrate, well, that action of not having, you know, just skipping breakfast because I'm too busy is going to come back on me when my body, you know, has a blood sugar rush, and all of a sudden, you know, I got to eat something. My blood sugar just collapses. Everything has an effect on everything else. So this is what it means to be energetically aware. Everything that we're doing is an energetic exchange, or an energetic deposit, or an energetic withdrawal. So when we get enough sleep, when we eat right, when we're in a pretty positive attitude or mental conditions, those energies serve us to be at our best. They accelerate our ability to be at our best. When we don't do things that serve us energetically, we don't get enough sleep at night, or we haven't been eating, or we don't even drink enough water. We can be dehydrated and can, God forbid, give us headaches or affect our physicality, which affects our ability to make good decisions and to be able to ascertain, the right situation. And that's what the decisions are. Our lives are based upon our decisions and our ability to read conditions, to read energies. And that's the most powerful thing is, what are conditions? Energies. When you're in negotiations with people, there's an energy exchange going on. Sometimes it's cordial, sometimes it's hostile. You're making a deal with someone. Sometimes the energy that you're making the transaction with is cordial. Sometimes, again, it's hostile. So all of these things, what I'm mentioning to you is there's an energetic framework under everything that we're doing, okay? And especially in business. So those of you who are business people and who want to get the hidden advantage, I'm going to tell you how to do it. And this is what we do in energy awareness training. I'm going to show you how being energetically aware can give you the unfair advantage in business. And what do I mean unfair? Not a negative advantage, just you know something that the other person doesn't. You're able to do things that your competition isn't able to do, right? You're able to do things, be things, have things over your competition. And what does that mean? Well, if you do it in high vibration energy with integrity, it's going to be more money, more opportunity, more advancement. Your business is going to grow, etc. Because, like it or not, when you go out into the business world, there's competition for whatever your service, unless you're doing something brand new and unique. Those of you who are realtors, there are other realtors out there. Those of you who sell musical instruments, there are other music shops out there. You're an attorney, there are other attorneys out there, etc. So in business, what marks you as the go-to person is your ability to recognize energy. That's what it all boils down to. Yeah, I could say recognize conditions, but you can recognize the energy below what's happening, below the conditions. So, for example, when some people see volatility in the markets, we saw that with Bitcoin, went straight up, and everybody thought they were going to be billionaires overnight, and they held on to it, and it got into people who were in early, they bought it for, in a couple of dollars. I remember it was like trading like $6-7 back a while, and it goes up, and you watch the markets, but their volatility, and no one can predict what's going to take place, but you can know energetically, by energetic laws, what's going to happen. So this is what I want to introduce the idea, is that when you're energetically trained and you're energetically aware, you can predict the future. Not as a psychic, but you have a sense of, if you're energetically trained, to know where the energy is going, because energy has a power, a purpose, a frequency, a direction, and it gives off information. And everything that we're dealing with in this world is energy. We're dealing with people. We're dealing with energy. You're doing business. You're doing energy. You're taking care of your health. You're dealing with energy. So when you look upon living on this planet as the energetic planet energy, and you recognize that everything that we're dealing with is an energy field or frequency, you see things in a deeper, different way. Okay? All right. So what I want to establish is there's certain things you need to do in business, primarily to do the job that you were trained for, or that you're learning. And if it's, as a business person, to be able to offer a product or service that people want and that people are interested in, and that you're able to fill a need, and that need is acknowledged by people giving you money. So we live in an amazing entrepreneurial age right now. I think there are more entrepreneurs now than there ever were, especially with the advent of the internet. So people are making money. The only thing that limits you is your creativity, because there's opportunities for any business from A to Z. But we want to talk about how energy awareness training gives you the unfair advantage. So let's talk about energy awareness, and then let's put the two together. So what we recognize in energy awareness training is we recognize that there are energies, that we're dealing with energies constantly, and that we are energetic sending and receiving machines, you could call it, or energetic beings. We're putting out energy, we're receiving energy back. Okay? Receiving energy, putting energy out there, receiving it back. Now, I have a saying in my training, and I should have mentioned this at the top of the broadcast, that what I teach is energy awareness training. It's a training, it's a method on how to become energetically aware and to be able to eliminate the things that you don't want to have in your life, that maybe you've tried a lot to dissolve: anxiety, stress, worry, bad memories, bad habits, etc., and to be able to neutralize that energy and to be able to create more of what you do want, the attitudes, the thoughts, the behaviors, the emotions that work for you, so that you can be the person or do the things or have the things you want to have. And as I mentioned in earlier broadcasts, this is something that was very important to me, where I was trying to overcome a lot of inner stuff that was holding me back: anxiety, stress, worry, self-doubt, etc. And I didn't think I was going to be able to do it. Frankly, I tried 20 years and I tried all these different, methods, from, traditional counseling to walking on fire, to sweat lodges, to shamans, to training, you name it, I tried it. And a lot of the things, I became, a trainer and actually taught some of these things. And they helped a little bit, but it didn't put me over where I needed to be until I became energetically aware, until this process that I'm teaching actually coalesced, and I was able to get a kind of a download or a reading to be able to see these and know how these invisible energies work. And you've heard me say the invisible energies are like the iceberg, 10% above the water, 90% below the water, right? And the things you can see, great. If you can see it, you can do something about it. That which we can see, we can control. But that which we can't see controls us. So much of the human struggle is the ability to improve, to be better, to overcome whatever particular issues we have. And everybody's got issues. If you're a human being walking around planet Earth, you've got issues, but we have different issues. Some people have issues with, earning a living. Some people, you've seen that, they struggle with money. They got issues with money. Some people have issues with health. Just can't over and over again, just can't seem to get to the next level or seem to be healthy for a long time. You see that in relationships. Some people have been married 5, 6, 7 times and just can't seem to get the relationship thing handled. So whatever it is that you were dealing with, energy awareness training identifies not only the reasons, but the energy blocks that have kept us from being able to deal with this stuff. And this was a big hallelujah message for me when I discovered the training, and I was able to utilize it and heal myself and dissolve all these, negative, low vibration energy patterns that were blocking me from the kind of happiness and the kind of joy and the kind of fulfillment that I always wanted. And once I was able to do that for myself, now I brought this out and now I help other people. I have hundreds of students all around the world who study energy awareness training, and I teach either one-on-one coaching or in my online classes, and you can learn more about that. I'll tell you more about that at the end. Okay, so we're creating the foundation here. Hey Lisa, welcome. John Ma has joined us. Amy, great. Glad you guys are here. Welcome aboard. If you guys could just put something in the chat, just kind of say hi, and anything that I'm saying rings your bell, or you had a question about anything or wanted me to clarify any points, I would appreciate it. That's your way of bringing value to me as I'm bringing value to you. So I can, the more people who comment, the more people who see this when we do the rebroadcast. So appreciate you saying hi and putting on the chat anything that you want to say, or even if you just want to say hi, I appreciate it. Okay, so in energy awareness, what we're doing is we're learning how to identify hidden energies. So all of us have hidden energies that are trying to influence us every single day. And most of us, we're not aware of it. That, the hidden energies don't go, hey, it's your hidden energy. Here I am today. No, they're hidden. You're not aware of that. You have no idea, that they even exist, except for the fact that you can see the end result. So if you have, for example, a blockage on, on relationships, for example, if there's a blockage or there's an issue in relationships. And what do I mean by issues? Simply, issues are problems or conditions that can't seem to resolve. No matter how hard I try, can't seem to overcome this thing. I tried, you take relationships. I tried, to make things work, with my relationships 4, 5, 6, 7 times, and I just, the same thing happens all the time. It's a pattern, right? Or somebody, tries to be an entrepreneur and they've had 4 or 5 businesses or more, and they all turn out the same way. Okay, there's a pattern there. There's something taking place. Somebody trying to be healthy, and they almost get their health back, and then they have a setback, and they get forward, and it's like 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, etc. So that's the conditions that we're dealing with. Now, I'm here to say, and you've heard me probably in other broadcasts to say that underlying everything that we're doing is an energy frequency. There's a frequency, there's a vibration, there's an actual energetic field that we're in. So when you're in a relationship, for example, it's you, the person you're in the relationship with, and the energy of the relationship itself. Okay, so there's three factors taking place. Not just you, it's not just them, it's both of you and the energy around the relationship. So you've heard people talk about the marriage. Well, there's the husband and the wife, and then there's the marriage. And the marriage or the relationship is basically the energetic entity that's taken place that connects both of you together. So when that energy is flowing, and it's what I call a high vibration energy, which is happy, joyous, free, flowing, loving, kind, supportive, abundant, blessed, whole and complete, that relationship is going to be good. It's going to be a good one. When the energy is just the opposite, when there's anxiety, when there's stress, when there's resentment, when there's bad memories, or I guess the resentment's the biggest one of stuff people have done, that accumulates. And that energy is going to affect the relationship and take it into a low vibration energy place. So let's clarify the terms. These hidden energies, there's dozens of them, maybe even hundreds of them that are trying to influence us at a certain moment. And it's interesting that no one ever taught us how to think. We go through school, we go through college, you go through it. No one teaches how the thought processes work. And so it's like, oh, okay. If you have a thought, I guess it's the truth. Well, we all know that some of our thoughts are true. Some of our thoughts aren't true. Some of our thoughts are real. Some of our thoughts aren't real. Some of our thoughts are based in fact, and some of our thoughts are based in illusion. This is an energetic principle or energetic law called the law of duality, or the law of polarity. So one of the first things we teach in energetic awareness is that you can't believe everything you think. In fact, you can't believe everything you think because there are other factors influencing your thoughts. And what are these factors? Well, these are the energies that are taking place. So again, we have high vibration energy, happy, joyous, free, abundant. Here's an important one: truthful, transparent, cooperative, win-win. High vibration energy, when you're in that, is a win-win situation. So if we're doing business, and I'm in a high vibration energy vibe, then when I do business with someone, I want there to be a win-win. I want to get something out of it, but I want you to get something out of it too, so we both win. A win-win is a high vibrational energy activity. So that's so important. Now remember, high vibration energy attracts more what? High vibrational energy. So that's the energy that we want to be in. And hopefully that's the way we want to do business. Honesty. high vibration energy, truth, high vibration energy, service, high vibration energy, going the extra mile, high vibration energy, all that good stuff, integrity, honesty, reliability, trustworthiness, right? All of that stuff is high vibrational energy. Okay, now if we got a high vibration energy in the law of duality, what do we have? We also have a low vibration energy. And the low vibration energy is just the opposite of that. The low vibration energy is secretive, it's anxious, it's worried, it's fearful, it's lacking, there might not be enough. Low vibration energy is obsessive and compulsive, and it has to grab, it has to take because it's afraid that there might not be any more. Okay, so there's an element of fear, there's an element of reactivity to the, I got to get mine, I might be left behind, or the guy might rip me off, or that kind of worry, fear, anxiety, stress. And in low vibration energy, we're dealing with a win-lose situation. So if you're a low vibration energy businessman, what you care about is you. You care about you and your profits and your situation, and not so much about your customers, or not so much about the boss. You see a lot of people, a lot of workers, feel entitled, that they should get their paycheck because they just show up. They show up in the morning, okay, pay me, and that paradigm is, do as little as I can to not get fired. Okay, and what does that do? That makes your employer want to pay you just enough so you don't quit. Right? So you got a lose-lose situation. I'm here. I don't want to be here, but I'm here because I got to make a living. So, okay, here's another Monday. You feel the attitude? It's a low vibration energy attitude. It's a taking. Low vibration energy is all about taking without giving. High vibration energy is about giving, and in giving, receiving back. So understand the different paradigms. In high vibration energy, I want to give you a product or a service. I want it to be the best that it can be. I want you to be happy. I want you to tell your friends that, that you had a good experience with me, so that you'll recommend other people to do business with me, right? High vibration energy, attracting more high vibration energy. So that's what you're looking for. Now, in business, there's quality and there's not quality. Okay, so you see anything that's made, whether it's a car or whether they're clothes or fine instruments or jewelry, there are people who specialize in quality. Their objective is, I want to make this the best I can make it. This is my signature, this is my work, and I want to create as much value and make this the best that I can make it. And when people, it's going to take more effort, it's going to take more time, it's probably going to take more money also, but in the end, that effort is going to be rewarded because there's quality. A great example of that are musical instruments. And my guitar here, when I got it, I looked at about 100 different guitars to choose the best one. And I was looking for one that had sounded good, that was resonance, that there was something special about that. And as I play this guitar, energetically I feel, okay, whoever made this guitar put a lot of quality into this. They put their heart, they put their energy. And I can feel the energy of the person who made this, in the resonance and the feeling. Right? So I went, wow, this is a quality instrument. I'm going to buy it. I looked at a lot of other guitars, and they may have looked good, but they sounded kind of cheap, kind of tinny, kind of ringing, and it was low quality. Basically, there was low quality, and I think to myself, why would somebody spend time making something that isn't high quality, that's low quality? Why would somebody put out junk? It's not that they're junk, but it's just not high quality. And when you hear that, if you know anything about guitars, you go, this isn't quality. I don't want to spend my money on this. It goes with anything, with clothes, with jewelry or cars. There's stuff that's well made, And when it's well made, it's a high vibration energy thing, because you go, wow, there's something to this. It's usually more money, but it's worth it. You heard the phrase, you get what you pay for. Okay, that's high vibration energy business. Going the extra mile. It might take more time, might take more effort, more money, but ultimately the inconvenience or the discipline that it takes to create a quality work will be recognized in the marketplace by other people who understand quality, and they're willing to pay for that quality because they recognize the value of that. Now, in low vibration energy, the whole object is just to make a buck. So we want to create something, with as less money as we can, with as minimal effort as we can, and just to get it on the marketplace and see if we can make a quick buck from it. And somebody somewhere who doesn't know the difference about a good guitar and a bad guitar, they'll buy this cheap ass guitar, and we'll make money off them. Now, one day they're going to find out that they bought a cheap guitar and that it wasn't quality. I found that out when I was learning about guitars. In not knowing, I bought a couple of chintzy guitars, and they were so hard to play, and they didn't really sound that good. And when I finally got a good one, I go, oh my gosh, look at the difference between these two. One of them is a joy to play. One of them makes me feel good. And the other one is just hurts my hands and a weird sound. And I don't want to have anything. I'll never buy another guitar from this company again. So do you understand how underneath those qualities is the energy, is the intention? One intention here is to provide quality and to create a long-term customer, to create people who go, wow, that guy's high vibration. That they mean quality. I'm going to keep coming back to this, to this company next time I have a need for their car or their guitar or whatever product it is. I'm going to keep coming back because they're quality. This one, on the other hand, is junk, chintzy. Yeah, they got my money, but I'm never going to come back to them again. Okay, so one of them is win-win. One of them is lose-lose. Okay, so the lose-lose, the low vibration energy businesses are counting on making that upfront buck. Do you remember I taught you the difference in the energies? Let me review that really quickly as we continue. The high vibration energies that we do, we're looking for long-term fulfillment. We're looking for long-term quality. So, for example, if you're going to buy a car, you want to buy a car and you want the thing to be running 6 months from now, a year from now, maybe 3 or 4 years from now, right? You just don't want a car to be running for a week or two. So you might have to pay a little bit more. It might be a temporary inconvenience. Might have to pay more or, invest more into it. So a little temporary inconvenience in the beginning, but our objective is what? Long-term fulfillment. Now, the other cars, it's going to be cheaper, and you can get into it right away, and you're going to enjoy it for a while. And you gotta, it was, you didn't have to pay much for it. It was a lot cheaper than the other one. But what was the difference? This one breaks down. This one goes back to the shop. It's a lemon. It's causing you long-term headaches. I had a car that did that. I had this car. I don't know if you guys remember back, Fiats. They've just made a comeback now, Fiats. But I had a Fiat that was a stereotypical car. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful convertible. God, it looked so good, and I felt so good in it when it ran, which was usually 1 or 2 days a week it would run. The rest of the days I had to take it into the shop, and that's why Fiat, at least then, stood for Fix It Again, Tony, right? So here I am. I invested this money into this car because it was beautiful and it looked great. And it felt great when I was driving it. But the long-term effect of that car was breaking down all the time. I couldn't depend upon it. I remember I went on a date, with this car because it was good looking. With the top down, it was good looking. But it was so undependable. I picked up the girl and we went on a date. We went to dinner up in San Francisco on Nob Hill. And if you know Nob Hill. Nob Hill's a big hill in the middle of this San Francisco. And when we got back to the car, we were having a good date, and I'm thinking, hey, things are going pretty good here. I'll take her for a nice little drive, maybe park up at the top of the mountain, look at the view of the city and see what happens, right? Well, my plans were thwarted because when we got back to the car and I get in the car, son of a gun, the thing wouldn't start. I never knew if it was going to start or not, but I took a chance and it didn't start. So what do we have to do? She had to get out. We had to push the car. It's a fairly new car. We had to push the car until we got the hill. So can you imagine? I'm on a date and the girl I'm on a date with, honey, can you get in the back of the car and push it so we can get the car started? She's going, what's with this fakakta car? The guy's driving a car, it doesn't even start. What's the matter with this guy, right? So she's pushing the car and we get it started and I get her back to her house and she says, thanks a lot, appreciate it, bye-bye. That was it for that date. I called her another 10 times. She never called me back. The car did it to me again. It caused me upfront happiness, right? I got an upfront rush because it looked good, but it brought me long-term suffering, right? And finally, it was ridiculous. I practically gave the car away to get it out of my misery. But that's an example of win-lose business, right? Now, am I ever going to get another one of those cars again? Never, not even close to it. And I would recommend other people don't do the same thing either. That was my experience. Okay, so that's building low vibration energy, right? That's the kind of energy you want to stay away from. So recognize here, we have the high vibration energy. Sometimes we have to put off immediate gratification for long-term fulfillment. And we have the low vibration energy that wants us to get involved immediately, that there's an upfront pleasure. And if it can trick you into upfront pleasure, it can give you long-term pain. So you guys with me so far? Am I making sense? Because we're going to dive deeper into this. Hey, Ronald. Ronald has joined us. My friend David, welcome. Woo Rid. Woo. Nice to have you with us. All right. If you guys could just say hi on the chat or any questions or any comments, what I'm talking about, I appreciate it. Posting on the chat helps build the broadcast and has more other people see this. All right. So now we've established the energies. We've established how the energies work. Okay, now let's go a little deeper. In high vibrational energy, there's no rush. When we're in this energy is one of flow, of peace, of everything working together in harmony. Okay, this is very important to understand these terminologies. High vibration energy is transparent. It's truthful. It wants the best for you. Okay, so when I'm dealing with someone, in business, I want the best for them. I want the best for me, but I want the best for them too. Right? It's a win-win situation. Because ultimately, in business, if you're doing business with someone and they're not satisfied, that's going to reflect upon you in some way or somehow. The word's going to get out one way or the other. If you're doing high vibration energy business and you take care of people and you give them more value than what they pay for, people are going to go, wow, this guy's a good man. You can trust him. He's got a great reputation, right? So high vibration energy creates more what? High vibration energy, more goodwill, more money, more business, more energy. Well, when you're in a low vibration energy, when you do business with somebody whose primary advantage is to make money off you and to use you as a vehicle for them to get wealthy, then when they sell you something that you're not satisfied, or you get involved in a business, or you get involved in a transaction that isn't fulfilling and it doesn't work out, what's that going to do? That's going to bring, low vibration energy, because you're going to tell everybody that hey, this guy doesn't do good work, or this guy is shoddy, or this guy is, a ripoff, or this guy, doesn't give good service, etc. So whatever we're putting out always comes back. Sometimes 200%. What we put out in the world by our thoughts, emotions, behaviors, our actions, we put it out in the world, it's got to come back. In fact, one of the things I teach in energy awareness training is that life doesn't come to you, it comes from you. Think about that for a second. Life doesn't come to you, it comes from you. So what that means essentially is so many of us think that life's doing it to us. Oh, I got bad luck here, or this thing happened to me, or I don't understand why this happened to me. And a lot of times we think, I'm a victim, right? I'm a victim. Well, this happened to me. When I was a kid, my mother dropped me on my head, and that's why I had a rough time in school, or, the kids beat me up and made fun of me, or, so-and-so abused me. And, we got our stories of lack and limitation, okay? Well, we want to check that. Just like we want to check the past, at least for now, and we want to check the future of worrying about what could happen, okay? We use our imagination to create horror movies in our minds, and this is what causes us stress, anxiety, and worry. We're using our great capacity of our imagination to visualize, to create visions, to create and put together whatever we want, and we're using that to create worry and anxiety. Go out into the future, goes, oh my gosh, what if this happens? Oh my gosh, what? Hey, don't use your imagination to think about what you don't want, right? Because if you fear it, you appear it. You're thinking about what you don't want. I hope this doesn't happen. I hope this doesn't happen. Well, whenever you're concentrating your thoughts or focus on an energy, whatever energy that is, doesn't matter whether it's high vibration or it's low vibration energy, that focus is going to expand the energy. So whatever you focus on expands the energy about it. So I recommend, and in the training, we spend no time focusing on what we don't want. We spend no time focusing on fears of the future. Why would you do that? That's low vibration energy. And low vibration energy doesn't feel good. And its ultimate goal is to make you suffer. So why would I want to be visualizing low vibration energy? Fear, worry, doubt. Oh, what could happen like this? So again, energy awareness training is about taking back your energy and your thoughts, feelings, and emotions to be able to focus on and energize what you want, and energize all the high frequency energies of the things that you want: happiness, joy, peace, abundance, blessings, etc. Okay, pretty straightforward so far. Okay, now let's talk about perception. Okay, those of you who just joined us, welcome. I always like to say hi to everybody coming on. Hey, Liz, good to see you. Hi, Paul. Hey, Don. All these guys coming on, welcome. So what we're talking about tonight is we're talking about how energy awareness training gives you the unfair advantage in business. Okay, so what we've done is we've clarified what the energies are so far, how they work. We've also talked about what we do in business, which is the ability to recognize opportunity, to advance ourselves in our jobs or our business, and to move forward in navigating the next step for our growth. Because business is like a life; it's got to keep growing, and all energy is moving. So it's either moving up or it's moving down, and it's either moving in high vibration energy or it's moving in low vibration energy. Okay, and I think we've established what the high vibration energy is. That's the energy that we want. That's the energy of abundance, again, of transparency, of truth, of wanting the best for our customers or the best for our employers, and wanting to provide something, whether a goods or service, that help people. And as a result of being of service to people, the money comes in. The people recognize value for that service, and they patronize what you do. And as that continues to grow and expand, that's how people become wealthy. The other side of that is the low vibration energy where people are just looking for money. What do I do for money? You ever heard of that? What if only I had more money? I need money. What do you need? I need money. Okay. People need money. That's right. But notice the energy around that. When people are more focused on what's in it for me, what am I going to get out of it? They have a tendency to not care about the other person. They care about the other person only to the degree that the other person will give them money. And it's their job to be able to get the person to hand over the dough. So for example, you've heard the typical example of the used car salesman. Okay, here's an example. This is the first example of how energy awareness training gives you the unfair advantage in business. Okay, so again, we've established high vibration energy, flowing, balanced, ease, abundance, okay, right action, low vibration energy, in a rush, desperate, obsessive, compulsive, lustful, gotta have this thing, whatever it is, I need it, want it, gotta have it, right? Okay, so if I'm a low vibration energy operator, let's say I'm selling used cars, because that's a typical example, and someone comes to me and says, and says, oh, I'm interested in buying a car. I've got one of two things I can do. I can either be in high vibration energy or low vibration energy. So if I'm in high vibration energy and someone says to me, I want to get a car, I'm thinking, great, I've got a customer to serve in front of me, and let's see how I can give them the best service, the best product, and have their experience here be something that's so good that they'll tell other people, and this will build my long-term business. I'll get referrals, and that's how successful business operate. People who are satisfied keep coming back, and they tell other people. Okay, that's the high vibration energy way of looking at it. The low vibration energy way of looking at it is, oh, they want a car. Okay, which car can I stick them with? Well, I'll make the most money. What can I do? Let's see. I'll get them this lemon here, because I'll charge the markup on this thing is huge. I'll make a huge commission, and if they have problems, I'll just stonewall them, which is what a lot of people do. So the customer, buys the car, and depending upon the consciousness and the intention and the energy that person is in, is going to be the degree with what they're going to come back at. So the high vibration energy guy, usually it takes, service takes commitment, it takes focus, it takes drives, some working with the public's temperamental. But if your purpose is to get people the best service they can be, and same thing with those of you who are realtors. You have a lot of realtors on, on the broadcast here. When your intention is to go the extra mile and to give super service, even though it takes effort and it takes time and it takes, sometimes energy. But if you're willing to be uncomfortable, and move out of your comfort zone and make sure that the customer gets satisfied, that's going to bring high vibrational energy, which is going to bring you a repeat customer, right? Which is going to build your business. So you may have had a little uncomfortability in being of service to the client. Maybe you needed to take the car back and make some adjustments, or work with them with the financing, or whatever it is that took an extra effort, wasn't easy, but you gave them A1 service, and A1 service always goes the extra mile to be of service. That's high vibrational energy. So you get a great result, you have long-term fulfillment. People are going to be back. Over here, the guy just wants to make a commission, doesn't care about you. You're just a cog in the wheel for him to get money from. So his highest priority is to get money. That's low vibration energy. And if you think about it, the people whose primary goal is to just get money, without any kind of service or without a fair exchange, is usually a low vibration energy occupation. That's what people who are, gamblers, or people who are fast buck artists, or people who are, fly by nights, they want to get the money, let's get the money and get out of here. they don't think about the energy ramifications, especially in the movies. You see these Martin Scorsese movies of these, what was it, Goodfellas or Casino? You see these guys, these crooks making tons of money in crime, and why are they doing it? Because there's money in it. So money is the primary motivator, not good service, not what they can do for other people. No, it's what's in it for me. What am I going to get out of it? How much money am I going to make, etc. And you guys ever watch The Sopranos? Great show, about the mob and gangsters. I just marvel at these guys who just, they rip people off and they scam people, and all these mob guys, and they think they're going to get away with it. You think, oh, you're going to get away. You're not going to get away with it. There are energetic laws in this world. What goes around comes around. Now, can I prove that? See, in energy, in understanding energy, we're dealing with hidden variables. Okay, so can I prove that what goes around comes around? I can't prove it, but I can tell you that it's an energetic principle. And I think we've all had the experience of ourselves, stuff that we've done have come back on us. Negative stuff that we've done, comes back on us in some other way, God forbid. Luckily, the good stuff that we do comes back on us too. So that when we're in high vibrational energy, when we're kind, when we're of service to people, when we give value, when we're in that energy field, that will come back to us in the form of more high vibration energy, more abundance, more profits, more opportunities, more expansion, etc. So it boggles my mind with the people who are in low vibration energy, just think, hey, you're going to get away with it. You're ripping people off for your own good, and you're getting a lot out of it, and you think, oh, okay, you're going to get away with it. You're not going to get away with it. Okay, so let's investigate that a little bit more. Okay, all right. Just want to make a shout out. Dante has worked as a car salesman. Okay, so he knows what I'm talking about. Great, appreciate that. Amy Sunshine, giving me the sign. Appreciate you being on board. All right, let's go a little deeper. So what's the hidden advantage you get when you're energetically aware? Let's talk about that right now. So let's go back to the example of the used car salesman. So there was a low consciousness there. Now, of course, the low vibration energy salesman, he's a nice guy, he's a confidence man, this is the best car in the world, you're going to love this, etc. You're going to love it, boom, 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 boom. And he says, but you got to get it now. It's only available here for tonight. In fact, I got 2 people who are coming down right now who want to buy the car. So this is your opportunity before they come down. You got to grab it. If you don't grab it, you're going to miss out. And tomorrow is going to be too late. So what's it going to be? I've given you a good price. Are you ready to act now? Are you? What kind of energy is that? Pressure, pushy, neediness, desperateness, pushing you against the wall, having you filling you with anxiety and stress, going, gee, but maybe I better take the car. I'm going to lose it. It's now or never. Okay. Well, here's the advantage right now. If you're energetically trained, and I've just given you some energy training here in this broadcast this evening, you recognize that high vibration energy is never in a rush. It's never pressured. It's never desperate. It's never needy. High vibration energy is a continual flow. It's peace. It's tranquility. It's the be able to move in a peaceful, in a joyous, in a healthy way. That's what high vibration energy is. And we know high vibration energy creates more what? More high vibrational energy. Now, what do we have over here? We have anxiety. We have pushiness. We have high pressure. We have lack. Got to get it tonight or else you're going to miss out forever, right? We have lack. We have leverage. Other people are coming. You better get it. Your back's against the wall. So you're pressured into making a decision. Oh, gee, I better get it or all that. So right away, you can learn a lesson. We know that when we recognize low vibration energy, we get away from it. Anybody who's dealing with low vibration energy, anxiety, stress, worry, doubt, secretness, being secret, untruthfulness, telling you stuff that can't be verified, making all kinds of claims that you can't look up, etc. We know that's low vibration energy. And we know, again, that high vibration energy attracts more high vibration energy, and that low vibration energy attracts more what? More low vibration energy. Now, with my students, I do drills on how to recognize high vibration and low vibration energy. It's so important because there's about 30 or 40 examples of high vibration and low vibration. And one of them is whenever you're feeling pressured, whenever you're feeling stress, whenever you don't have peace inside you about something you're going to do, that's low vibration energy. And low vibration energy will attract more what? More low vibration energy. And what's the purpose of low vibration energy? To keep you out of high vibration energy and make you suffer. So how many times have we made decisions about a person, about a place, about an activity, about something that we wanted to be involved in, and we made a hasty decision? Maybe you were pressured or you just, it's like, I got to do it now, man. And you went, oh, okay. And maybe against your better judgment, you fell for it, or you allowed yourself to get talked into or influenced into getting involved with the person, situation, or thing. And then you got involved with it, and maybe it worked out for a time, and then it didn't work out. And then you grew to regret making that decision. And you're going, why did I do that? How did I let him talk me into that? What was I thinking? Why wasn't I thinking? And then the aftermath is regret and suffering. Oh, I got this car, it's a lemon, or, I dated this person and they weren't what they claimed to be. I caught them in all kinds of lies, or, you're looking at acquiring a company, and you do the investigation, you find out they got false books, and like, hey, there's deception out there. What's deception? Deception is low vibration energy. Anytime somebody tries to deceive you or tries to manipulate you or influencing you in a way that's not for your best interests, that's low vibration energy. And that energy is all about creating chaos, distraction, lack, loss, and suffering. We don't want any of that, okay? But the only way you're able to recognize that if you can see the energy, because if you can't see the energy around it, and if you don't notice the energy, you believe what people say. Some people are so good, they can sell you the Brooklyn Bridge, right? And say, hey, the Brooklyn Bridge, we got a special on it, $100 down, $50 a month, and you own the Brooklyn Bridge. Come on, what a deal. Let's get involved. And you go, oh, okay. Seems like a nice guy. Okay, I'll buy the Brooklyn Bridge, right? And then you're not energetically aware, so you follow along, and then that leads to disappointment, frustration, and regret. Okay, and those are the things that we want to avoid. That's all low vibration energy. Okay, is this making sense to you? The used car example. You guys write me a little letter. Ernie, so true, and that is life. You're so right. Ivar, good distinction. Absolutely. All right, let's go a little bit deeper. Business examples. So, you guys all heard of Bernie Madoff, right? Bernie Madoff. If you haven't heard of him, he ran the biggest investment fund, or one of the biggest investment funds in New York City for many years. And people invested with him. He had some of the most prominent and successful people in the country, actually in the world, invest with him. He promised 10% returns every year, no matter what, 10% returns on your money. And when people would say, well, how do you get that 10%? And he said, oh, well, I have different formulas and I have different algorithms and, in the trades that I make and like this. And most people went, okay. So-and-so said, they got they're getting their 10% every year. And, over 20 years, he built quite a reputation. Well, what people didn't know was he didn't make trades. What he did was he created one big Ponzi scheme. Ponzi scheme is you have people give you money and you pocket that money and you take a portion of that and you pay off the interest so that you can get more people in. It's like one big pyramid thing. You got money coming in and the new people are coming in to pay the old people that you've taken their money from. You've taken the principal and you're just paying them interest. Well, that can't last forever because it can last in a great economy. Remember what Abraham Lincoln said, you can fool some of the people some of the time and all the people some of the time, but you can't fool all the people all the time. So for about 20 years, Bernie Madoff he was a very well-known guy on Wall Street, very successful, guy was worth, over $500 million, yachts, apartments, the whole lifestyle. And he was getting away with it for a while. He wasn't investing anybody's money. He was just basically taking it, paying off interest and enriching himself with other people's money that they thought were going to investments. Okay, so now let me give you your first quiz. Was Bernie Madoff's way of doing business high vibration or low vibration? Class, write down, was it high vibration or low vibration? I'll wait. Everybody, write down, give me your take. Was it high vibration? Put it on the chat. Was it high vibration or low vibration? He was paying interest every year. Everybody got their 10%. Well, of course, hindsight, it was low vibration energy. But at the time, the perception was, hey, the guy's a successful guy, paying off that 10% return every year. Some of the biggest names in Hollywood are investing with him. Holy smokes, let's get on the bandwagon. Okay. Now this is where your energy work comes in. So if you were thinking about putting $1 million into his investment fund, some people put 20 million. He had a lot of funds. They put tens of millions of dollars and invested with them to get that 10% return. It seemed good. It sounded good that, you got a statement every month, saying, hey, here's your 10%, right? But it was flawed. But it was low vibration energy. Now, if you were energetically aware, as some people were, here's how you would have dealt with that in business. Okay, I just laid the ground. I spent the first half of this class laying the groundwork. So let's utilize what we've learned. Oh, there's an investment fund paying off 10%. Guy's has a track record of paying off, 10%, 10% on your money, at least, on a regular basis. Let's do it. But if you're energetically aware, and what we teach you in energy awareness training is I want to know the energy. Okay, you can give me the stats and you can give me the procedures, but I want to know the energy. I want to know the energy because the energy is going to tell me if it's good or it's not good. If I should get involved with it or if I shouldn't get involved with it. Right. Now, it's not just the ability to recognize energy like what I'm teaching you in class here, but also it's about you being able to connect to your own energy and you able to recognize high vibration and low vibration energy within yourself and to be able to recognize this in the world around you. Okay, and it doesn't happen overnight, but it happens in the trainings that I teach. I wish I could teach you guys to be energetically aware in one class. Well, I'm trying to do that in this class, but it takes a little bit more than just one sitting. But follow me along, because I think you're going to get the big picture. All right. So energy aware, I go, is this a good investment? Should I get involved in this investment or not? That's the big question. How does energy awareness training give me the unfair advantage? And remember, it's an advantage is knowing when to invest, or when to hire someone, or when to trust someone, and when not to invest, and when not to trust someone, and when not to get involved in any deals that may be suspect. So you're making decisions every day about what's good for you and what's not good for you, right? And if you avoid the oncoming train, the low vibration energy, that's a victory. All the people who didn't invest, there was one particular guy, they had a movie about this, by the way, on HBO. It was really good, with Robert De Niro, if you ever get a chance to see it. All about Bernie Madoff and the complexity of how this whole thing works. But the bottom line is, if you're energetically aware, you want to go, how is it that you're able to make 10% returns year after year, when sometimes the economy is up, sometimes the economy is down? In normal trading, any businessman knows you have highs and you have lows. Sometimes you win it, you have winning trades, sometimes you have losers. That's just the way it works. And yet you're able to have a winner every single year, year after year, for 20 years. Now, that's pretty impressive. How do you do it? What was his answer? I have a secret system, a secret formula, particular algorithms that are proprietary and known only to me. And this is what when you invest with me, you get to benefit from my expertise to pick up, the winning stocks or the winning trades. Okay. Could you show me an example of that? Like from your past, the trades that you made maybe like last year or 2 years ago, an example of how that works so I can see the performance levels? No, we can't show you that, unfortunately. All of our trades, all of our businesses is all confidential, and it's done with proprietary algorithms, and we can't show it to you. So, we have a track record of success. That's what we stand on. So if you want the success, then invest with us. If you don't want the success, then don't invest with us. That's it. That's what they were telling people. Okay. Now, most people went, all right, that's good enough for me. Here's my money. I'll invest. Not the energy awareness training student. The energy awareness training looks at the energy around this. Okay. And the example of, we go back to examples. High vibration energy is open. It's transparent. It's in truth. There's no secrets. There's no withholds. It's like, here's the deal. Here's what it looks like. Here's the process that we go through. Now, I understand, if something's a proprietary process, you may not be able to show them exactly how it works, but you could sure show past performances of that particular system in action. So you could say, hey, 2019, how about showing me, the results, how you got your 10% in 2010? Okay, just the trades that you made and how you came up with them, and whatever you can. They wouldn't even talk about it. Nope, can't mention that. No. Oh, okay. So we get back to what's the energy around this. Okay, high vibration energy, open, free, transparent, in your truth. Low vibration energy, secretive, withheld, constricted, nervous, unclear, fuzzy thinking or fuzzy logic, unverifiable. Okay, there it is. So being an energy awareness training student, I'm going to say, okay, this is the energies that are confronting me. And energetic laws never fail. They may take a while for the results or the karma to come into place, but by and large, they don't fail. So what happens? Well, there were people who chose not to invest. They said to him, you can't show me this? You want me to just trust you with millions of dollars? Sorry, Charlie. If I don't understand how this works, I can't take, my money or my investors' money and trust you with it. Other people were greedy, and other people said, I don't care how you do it. You've got a track record of returns, so I'm going to hand you my money and I'm going to get my returns too. And there, right then and there, that's where, if you're energetically trained, you have the unfair advantage, because right away, oh, the guy's secretive, the guy's avoiding questions. It appears that there's something to hide here. It appears that there's something not quite right. And there was actually a guy, an accountant, who recognized that and actually wrote a book about Bernie Madoff and tried to called the Securities and Exchange Commission and said, hey, this guy's running a big Ponzi scheme. These guys got a million. What are you guys doing? You should invest the guy. They didn't invest. They didn't investigate. The guy called them up and says, hey, I'm an accountant. What this guy's doing doesn't make sense. There's no way you can keep doing this year after year. It's mathematically impossible. And the Securities Exchange said, well, we know him. He's been around a long time, and he's a member of the financial community, and nobody's really complained. So, go away. That's what they told the guy. Okay. So another year passed, and another year, and another year. I think maybe 4 years passed since the original accountant whistleblower was going to say something. And then what happened? Remember, high vibration energy and low vibration energy. That's what we're talking about. The low vibration energy, when people do stuff that's low vibration, that's out of integrity or stealing or fraud or underhanded business tactics, they get away with it for a little while, right? Until the karma or the energy they put out comes back to them. Remember, I said whatever we put out comes back to us. May take a little time, but it's going to come back to us. So it was about another 3 to 4 years, where Bernie kept doing his Ponzi thing, and he tried to silence this guy who was trying to expose him and called him a quack and made some moves against him. But what happened? What happened was the recession came, the recession of 2008, 2009, 10 years ago, actually it was. And what happened is that when the financial market started to decline and people started, the stock market tanked and people were involved in the dividend and the mortgage swaps and all that stuff, people started losing money big time. So what happened with Bernie Madoff is that all these people who had investments and had bad investments in these securities started losing big time money. So what happened was they got scared and they started pulling their money. They started asking to cash out of Bernie's account. They say, hey, I invested 10 million with you. I need my 10 million back. Thanks. I'm concerned about money. I need my 5 million back. Yeah. Can I get my 20 million back? Yeah. Can I have my million back? And there's only, since there was no fund, since he was basically, taken from Peter to pay Paul, he couldn't make too many refunds, or else he'd be completely bankrupt and out of money. So things started going bad for him. And then he started getting really desperate and approaching, major lenders to invest with him. And the word started getting out, Bernie's a little bit too desperate, something weird with that. And finally, the day of judgment came, and so many people were asking for refunds, and he couldn't cover it, that the whole thing just collapsed. And he became one of the most notorious financial criminals, in United States history. He's in jail. I think he got 300 years for what he did. He's in jail right now. Okay, so where's the meat of this? Okay, and where can you benefit from this? Well, when you're energetically aware and you have an experience of energy, not just a thought or a concept, when you're actively engaging in energy awareness training, learning how to run your own energies, how to clean and clear your own energies, how to create high vibration energy fields every day, how to move into higher states of high vibration energy, happiness, joy, peace, blessings. When you're able to move in these frequencies, you're able to spot the energies because you know how they work. You can know how they feel, you know how they operate, you become energetically aware. So in this example, an energy awareness training student would say, okay, I'm just about to make an investment. What's the energy around it? Is it clear? Is it clean? Do I understand it? Is it something that I feel it's a win-win situation? Or are there secrets? Do I not know about this? Is there something somebody's not telling me? Is there things that can't be verified? Yeah, okay. It's and the way the low vibration energy got around it all is to say 10%. Doesn't matter what he's doing, 10% a year guaranteed. Forget, okay, I know you don't know how it works. I know it's a mystery. I know he's kind of secretive about stuff. 10% a year. Where can you get those kind of returns? Come on, right? So the average person was seduced by the money, was seduced by the opportunity for profits, for cash, for money, right now. And they weren't energetically aware to understand that long-term success usually requires some discipline, usually requires some effort. It usually requires pushing back immediate gratification for long-term fulfillment. They didn't get that. So in the Bernie Madoff, they're going, hey, 10%, give them the money now. Start getting your 10%. You get immediate gratification, which led to what? Long-term suffering and loss. So at the end, when the whole thing collapsed and people were out millions of dollars, people were saying, oh, if I had only known then what I know now, I never would have done that. I never would have gotten involved with that. I should have seen it. There were so many signs. And let me tell you guys, there's always signs for whatever you're about to do. Listen carefully. You want to get value here on this broadcast? Listen carefully. There are always signs that will tell you what direction to go into. Whether you're dealing with a person, you're dealing with the project, you're dealing with a group of people, you're dealing with a new relationship or whatever it is. When you have to make a decision, there are always signs, but these signs aren't apparently obvious. They're energetic signs, and you have to train yourself to be able to see the hidden results, the hidden effects of these energies. So people could say, oh, I should have known. I should have known when I asked, Bernie how he was doing it. He wouldn't tell me. I should have known, right? Hindsight's 20/20. I should have known. I wanted to see where they make the trades, and they said it was some office, and you couldn't go down there, and it was a secret. I should have known. Oh, okay. You should have known. Well, why didn't you know? You didn't know because there was an energy that was blocking you from seeing the whole picture. And that's what we call the low vibration energy. So the low vibration energy tries to get you with the easy money or the quick fix or the overnight riches or the quick hit of pleasure that you get if nobody's looking, right? So the things that what gets people in trouble? We see sex scandals everywhere. I did a whole class on that. There are guys going down every week from these sex scandals. You had I think the head of CBS television network, once the most powerful man in television. We want to talk energy awareness in business. How's this? Here he is, a guy commands about $70 million a year he made, I think last year or the year before. 70 million in stock options and in salary. That's a lot of money, right? And then what happens? Some low vibration energy behavior that he performed 20 years ago, right? Or 15 years ago, when he was working at another company, at another job, has finally resurfaced. What you put out comes back to you 200%. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not next year. So the behavior that he was dealing with was stuff he did 10, 15 years ago. Inappropriate relationships, sexual assault or harassment of women. And all these women came forward after one did and said, this guy harassed me. And another woman said, yeah, he harassed me too. He harassed me. And now there's a whole group of them. And that violates one of the clauses in one of his contract. So what happened? They ousted him as the head of CBS Corporation. They ousted that guy, one of the most powerful guys in TV. The board fired him. And to make matters worse, he had a severance package of, I think it was $120 million. A lot of money, right? Energy awareness training in business. Well, guess what? Because of that behavior, he forfeited the $120 million. In other words, the company said to him, because you did X, Y, Z, we're not giving you any severance pay. You violated the terms of your contract. You get nothing. Goodbye. Thanks for all you did for us. Bye-bye. $120 million. Now, he's suing to try to get that back, but as of today, it wasn't going that well for him. Do you see now how important energy is? Do you see how it affects our decisions? 15 years ago, when he was doing whatever he was doing, trying to kiss women inappropriately or whatever behavior, that he was doing, he wasn't thinking about, oh, this is going to cost me, if I try to, forcibly kiss this woman. He wasn't thinking, this is going to cost me $120 million. Was he thinking that? He wasn't thinking that. He was thinking, he was in the low vibration energy field of what can I get? What's in it for me? What kind of gratification can make me feel good right now? And I really don't care if this other person is into it. I hope they are, but I'm just hoping they'll go along with me, right? That's the prevailing attitude for so much of the Me Too scandals. The assault of other people in a low vibration energy, a win-lose situation. I want what I want. I'm from pleasure, and I don't care if you like it or not. I like it, so let's do it. Well, that action created a karmic response, an energetic response, right? And he thought he got away with it. Thought, it happened 15 years ago. It's old news. He's married now. He's different, Didn't matter. That karma, that energy, the low vibration energy, which again, I repeat, the purpose of energy awareness training, or the purpose of low vibration energy, is to separate us from our good, to create temporary upfront pleasure and long-term suffering. Okay, you got that? Very important. Low vibration energy is here to keep us out of high vibration energy, give us immediate gratification, which will eventually turn into long-term pain or suffering. And that's an example. Did a low vibration energy act, created an energetic direction? Remember, because I say energy is a power, a purpose, a frequency, a direction. It gives off information. So that low vibration energy act that he, think, I'm just, rowdy guy, grab ass, people do it all the time. Well, 20 years later, it's a major headline issue, and that's going to oust him. I mean, can you think about it? It's amazing. The most powerful guy in TV gets ousted because of inappropriate behavior he did 15 years ago. It cost him $120 million and his reputation, because these energies that are influencing us all the time, if you get influenced by low vibration energy and you can't recognize that, you're going to suffer. God forbid. Whereas if you're in high vibration energy and you recognize, okay, you know what? Maybe he's in an office with the woman. What would be the flip side of that? The flip side would have been, okay, I'm in an office with this woman. I'm very attracted to her, but I'm married, or she's married, or it's not appropriate to grab ass or do whatever he did there. So I'm not going to do it. I'd like to, but I'm not going to do it. So he put off short-term gratification for long-term fulfillment. So if he hadn't have done that, then he'd still be the president of CBS and he'd be $120 million richer. But because the low vibration energy said, hey, there's some pleasure we can get. Hey, let's get a hit. Let's get a hit of pleasure. Let's see if I can get whatever he did. And he indulged in it. And he didn't recognize that energy, those thoughts, those feelings that he was getting was a low vibration energy with the purpose to make him suffer, to make him to leave high vibration energy and to create a short-term hit to bring on long-term pain. And that's what we all have. These are the situations that we all feel. But I'm making this example just to illustrate how the energies work with us. Okay, they don't come and announce us, hey, low vibration energy calling, trying to take you down today. What's your pleasure? You want to go down, from inappropriate sex, or you want to go down by drugs, or you want to go down by stealing, or you want to go down by ripping people off? What's your pleasure? Now, most of us don't want to have anything involved with that. We're high integrity people, and we want long-term fulfillment. But these are the traps that we fall into, especially in business, right? Okay, is this making sense to you guys? Give me a little bit of chat here. Translate it to life. Yes. Hey, Katrina, glad you're here with us. Ernie, okay, as if he who last laughed lost the longest. Okay, love that. Hi, Aaron. Great to have you with us. All right. So these are the examples. I'll give you one more example and see if you can translate to your particular situation. I had a student of mine who started studying with me, and he worked for an investment firm, a securities firm. He sold some kind of stock or some kind of security or something, and he was making a lot of money. And he got referred over from another student of mine and said, hey, I hear you do fascinating work. I hear that you're able to teach people how to see invisible energies, and that can give them the hidden advantage in business. And I want the hidden advantage in business. So please teach me, how to do that. And I said, okay. And it's not just the concepts, it's actually learning how to clean your energy, to take back the energies that we go through every day, to filter and clean so that we have plenty of the high vibration energies and we let go of the low vibration energies. So it's not just a mental. Remember, I always said nothing changes until energy moves. Okay, but this is what I started teaching. So I started teaching what I'm teaching you guys about how the energies work, about how there's high vibration energy and there's low vibration energy, and they all have characteristics. And if you can read those characteristics and you're actively involved in energy training and awareness and working, you're able to see, and you become aware of how the energies work. And through that, you have an unfair advantage in business. And he says, wow, man, I'm all for it. So as I taught him the characteristics of high vibrational energy, and then I taught him the characteristics of low vibration energy. And I said, high vibration energy attracts more high vibration. Low vibration energy attracts more low vibration energy. Okay, so you want to make sure you know where you're at. So I went over that, and about 2 or 3 lessons, he was doing one-on-one coaching with me. And he came to one of the lessons, and he says, Glenn, based on what you're putting up there, I think the guy who runs my company is low vibration energy. I said, really? And how do you ascertain that? He goes, well, he's very secretive. He doesn't talk about, where our securities come from or how they work. I really don't know too much about it. I just, I just know what they are, and I'm good at selling them. We have phone rooms and, sales teams and stuff. But they're new, and I'm not sure. I can't tell people it's going to be a long term. I can even tell them if the securities are going to be worth anything. We hope they will, but we're primarily engaged in selling. We want to sell this product. It's a product that we're selling, and I don't know too much about it. And when we ask about it, they give us don't ask too many questions. Just keep selling. Let us worry about it. Didn't that sound familiar? Didn't I just mention something like that about 15 minutes ago with another guy? Yes. And I says, okay. He says, so according to the definitions, if the boss or the owner is engaging in low vibration energy behavior, you're telling me that low vibration energy is going to attract more low vibration energy, which is going to bring on more suffering or unpleasantness or lack or loss. And I said to him, I'm not giving you any advice, but I'm just going to tell you how the energies work. And it's high vibration attracts more good things. Low vibration energy attracts not good things. It attracts suffering. It attracts pain. And it attracts more of a downward spiral. So he goes, wow. So the next week he comes back and he says, Glenn, I just want you to know I quit my job. I'm no longer working at that firm. I don't want to be involved in any low vibration energy or shady practices. Now, I can't prove right now that the guy's shady or that it's illegal, but what I've learned from you is that if I had to put it in one column or the other, the column would be in low vibration energy. So I said to him, okay, if you make that decision, that's your decision. I didn't give you the advice to that. I don't give advice, by the way. I just let people know what the energetic laws and let them figure it out. So that's what I told him. So he kept on, every week coming for his lessons and for, new understanding of the training. And then a month passed and he said to me, I quit and my friends at the firm think I'm nuts because they'd never made so much money in their lives. These guys are starting to buy Lambos and Ferraris. They're making so much money and I'm out of there and they're thinking I'm the biggest dope in the world for leaving the firm. And when I told them I didn't get a good feeling about it, they just laughed at me and just called me stupid. I said, that happens. Another month went by. And he said, the firm's still doing their thing. The friends still making money hand over fist, and I'm not working. I'm looking for another position, but right now I'm unemployed. But I made enough money there where I don't have to work for a while. But still, nothing's changed there. And I said, energetic laws never fail. Sometimes they take time, but they never fail. Okay, third month. Now he's a little bit second guessing himself. He's going, did I make the right decision here? People are still making money, firm's still going on, and I'm here. I haven't worked there for 3 months and not working. And I'm thinking, maybe I made a mistake. Maybe I should go back there and get my old job back. Maybe I said, first off, notice the energy that you're in right now. You're in regret. You're in second guessing. What kind of energy is that? It's low vibration energy. I said, okay. So as long as you're in that frame, you're going to get more of that. So rather than looking back on what you did, you've got a moment here right now, this moment, to choose what you want to be and where you want to go. You can go back to the firm if you want to. That's available. Or you can look for a new firm. But understand that energetic laws never fail. And if something's low vibration energy, it's going to create more low vibration energy, whether you see it or not. The way that you recognize hidden energy is the characteristics of how it works. So we see the characteristics of how it works. We see sneakiness, shadiness, secretness, hiding, tenseness, lack of transparency. Okay, that's all moving in a direction. moving in the low vibration energy direction. So it's up to you if you want to be a part of that. Some people, it takes 2 or 3 times of them to experience this before they learn the lesson. All right, so what happened? Another 2 weeks, and the firm got shut down. The firm was raided and shut down for selling false securities or some kind of illegal or inappropriate product, sales, or service. And everybody who was connected with the firm got their assets seized and shut down. He made it out of there by 3 months and 90 days. No, it's 90 days and 2 weeks. So 2 weeks, the karma came down, and when he came for his lesson the next week, he goes, Glenn, energetic laws never fail. The guy's happy as a clam. So that's just an example of how things work. And if you're energetically aware and you notice the signs, and the signs are, they're not always the same in everything, but they're characteristics. So if you notice the energy, some of you, we got some realtors on here in the class, and you all do a great job, but you've all had the client from hell, right? You've all had the client that you met and wanted to buy a house, and this person is just a nightmare to deal with. I mean, it's just so unpleasant, and you wish you'd never taken them on as a client. Sometimes you fire them because they're just crazy. I observed that, growing up. I lived next door to a realtor. I heard all the realtor stories. Okay. And it's not worth it. Well, if you had been energetically aware, you might have seen, you might have noticed the characteristics of this person before you got involved with them, right? And that might have saved you a lot of headaches and a lot of lost time and a lot of lost money. So in business, you have to make decisions about whether something's right, something wrong, whether something works, something doesn't work, et cetera, et cetera. And living in an energetic world, all of the things that we're making decisions about have an energy and a frequency to them. And if you can read the energy and the frequency to them, you can know where they're headed. Now, I'm not saying, you can predict the future, but you can actually. And at least you can know where the trend is. You can know where something's headed. And if you know where something is headed, something that's headed in a certain direction tends to stay in that direction, right? Unless something changes, because change is difficult. And that's one of the reasons why I started energy awareness training, because I wanted to change things inside myself. I wanted to change lifelong habits and patterns and memories and energies. And I didn't know how to change them until I discovered energy awareness training. And I was able to be able to change the energy around myself, around the way I operate, about my perceptions of the world, and you can too. So when you become energetically aware, it's like you have a hidden advantage over to be able to see whether something's good for you or not. And that, think about it. What makes us happy? What makes us happy are the decisions that we make and the choices that we make that are good for us. When we choose the right spouse, or we choose the right business, right? Or we choose the right activities. When we choose things that are good for us, makes us happy. When we choose things that we think are going to be good for us and they're not, or they deceive us, or we think we're getting involved in something that's good or wholesome, and it turns out to be just the opposite, that's when we suffer. So the people who get involved in business, when you're making money and when you're of service to people and good things are happening, you feel good. You're in high vibrational energy. When you get involved in, with difficult clients, or you getting involved with situations, that are shady, or you're going for a fast buck and it blows up, you suffer. So this is what it means to be energetically aware. And this is a skill that you hone every day. And this is what we teach you how to do in the trainings, whether it's the one-on-one coaching or, learning from the online classes, whatever it is. You learn how to be able to spot energies. And you learn that in this world, there are lots of booby traps. In other words, there are lots of things that are bright, shiny objects that sometimes seem to be good, but could be traps. And one of the energetic laws that I teach, my beginning students, is that we live in the law of illusion and paradox. Illusion and paradox. What's that? It's basically saying that sometimes things are what they seem to be, and other times they're not what they seem to be. Sometimes people are what they seem to be. Sometimes they're not what they seem to be, right? Sometimes jobs or businesses are what they seem to be. Sometimes they're not. Okay? And when they're not, when we do things and they're not what they seem to be, we get involved in all kinds of low vibration energy, and that's what causes us unpleasantness and suffering, whether it's emotional or physical. So what you're learning tonight is, with the unfair advantages, is that you can notice business conditions, you can notice the way people operate by their thinking, by their thoughts, by their actions. And if you're energetically trained, you can say, okay, that's high vibration energy. That's what I want. And if you observe the low vibration energy, you can say, that's not what I want. I'm going to stay away from that, right? So we benefit as much from the things that we don't do as well as from the things that we do. So the decisions that we make to stay away from things that are bad for us are just as important as the decisions that we make to get involved in things that are good for us. Does that make sense? You guys get what I'm talking about? If this is resonating, let me know in the chat that you understand what I'm saying, that this makes sense to you, that energetic awareness is exactly what I said, gives you the hidden advantage to how things are working. Okay? Let me just take a quick peek here. Mo! Hi, Mo. Welcome to the broadcast here. Rachel, interesting. Okay. Mickey, hi, Mickey. Ernie, translating it to life. So I'm going to leave you with this last example. And do you guys remember about 10 years ago, there was a tsunami in Thailand? You guys remember that? Big tsunami in Thailand. And there were like hundreds of people killed and devastation. It was a horrible, horrible disaster. Now, what you didn't hear on the news, but what I found out about that is what I'm teaching you here tonight. And that is that everything we're dealing with in this world, people, places, things, activities, is an energy. Okay? And we're living in an energetic world. And these energies, whether it's a person, place, thing, situation, climate, whatever it is, being energy, it has a power, a purpose, a direction that it's moving in, a frequency, and it gives off information. And the animals, nature, abide by this knowledge. The animals are all about, you see the birds and the squirrels and they're always going, okay, they're using their energy to say, okay, is this safe? Is this not safe? Should I go here? Should I go this? I have a pet squirrel out who comes visit me every morning. And every time he comes to see me, he's like, is this safe? Is this a friend of mine, or is he going to try to capture me and kill me? What? He's using his instinct. He's using his ability to feel vibration, to be able to feel frequency, to be able to feel conditions, just like the rest of us when we go out into the world. Okay, so what happened with the tsunami is the waters receded from the beach out to about a mile to a mile and a half. So imagine, you have a normal beach, and all of a sudden the waters recede. It goes out, back out into the ocean a mile, and you've got, a mile of just sand, no water at the beach. Well, here's the difference between nature and human beings. When the animals heard that, saw that, all of the animals knew something was coming up. They knew that water receding, that energetic event had a power, it had a purpose, it had a frequency, and it was giving off information. And the information that it was giving off was what I taught you in the first classes, the law of duality. That means if there's an up, there's a down. If there's a left, there's a right. If there's a good, there's a bad. If there's a male, there's a female, etc. So they knew if the water is going out that far, right? If it's going out that far, it's going to be coming in farther. And it's going to be coming in with intensity and maybe dangerously. So it was interesting that people in the village were noticing, all the animals were headed to higher ground. The monkeys, the squirrels, the birds, anything that could walk, heading out of town. Heading out of town. But what did the tourists do? They go, well, isn't that interesting? Oh, not energetically aware. Just think, the water receded. Oh, so what? And then a week later, the waters came back in a tidal wave and totally drenched the villages, soaked people. I mean, there was a great movie with Matt Damon that showed that. What was the name of that movie? where he has psychic abilities. I forget what it is, but it illustrates how violent and how strong that current was. Now, this illustrates exactly what I taught you. If you're energetically aware, you would have gone, oh, something's taken place. What's the energy around it? At least you would have alerted you to go, okay, the water's gone out. Okay, well, I know law of duality. If the water's going out, it's going to come back in here. And if it's going out that crazy, maybe it's time to get to higher ground. That's a life-saving decision that some people made who were energetically aware. The people who weren't energetically aware just said, whatever, man, and they were there and they got victimized. They suffered. And, a lot of people lost their lives during that. So learning energy awareness training is so important. I think it's the most important thing that you can learn in this life because it helps you navigate all of the situation that you're in life. There's no situation that you're in that's not affected by energy awareness. Relationships, working with people, working with animals, dealing with nature, doing business, making friends, learning how to trust people, etc. It's all has energetic implications. And if you use those implications, you can have an unfair advantage. Now, this is just a little bird's eye view. I go into this very deeply in my courses and in my one-on-one coaching on how this works. But I wanted to share this with you guys tonight so you can recognize that energy awareness training is applicable, especially in business. So if you're in business, I highly recommend you learn this to avoid making a mistake. To do two things. One, to always stay in high vibrational energy, so you're creating value for your business, you're creating momentum, and you're creating great customers. And to learn this so you can stay away from the traps that are out there, especially in the business world, of people who are in low vibration energy, who are looking for people that they can, sucker into low vibration energy projects or deals or all kinds of stuff. And you can read all about this, by the way, in the paper. A great show to illustrate exactly everything I've taught you tonight is on CNBC called American Greed. You guys see that? CNBC on cable, American Greed. And it's a textbook of everything I've taught you tonight. The people start making lots of money and their businesses are going great, and they decide that they want more. So they start cutting corners here, and they start, embezzling funds here, and they start, inappropriately using investor money, that was given them for one thing, they use it for the others, and they're getting caught up in a low vibration energy. They don't even realize it yet. until it comes to a point where the energy's got you. See, when you're performing low vibration energy activities, in the beginning, it feels great. You know, these guys are getting all this money and they're investing it and they're buying Rolls Royce and these guys are buying yachts and everything. Yeah, it's great for the first couple of years until it catches up with you. And then when it catches up with you, all that stuff goes away. And you're sitting there going, why did I do it? I mean, if you ask Bernie Madoff, you go to jail and you say, hey, Bernie, was it worth it? You know, you lived like a billionaire for 20 years, okay? Now you're going to be in jail for the rest of your life. You've lost your wife's divorced you, she won't have anything to do with you. Your one son came down with cancer because he was so stressed out, passed away, and the other son that you had committed suicide, he hung himself. Was it worth it? What do you think you'd say? If I could do it all over again, I never would have done it. I didn't mean for this to happen. It just got out of hand. You know, I wanted to pay all the money back, but I got in too deep, and then, you know, I just couldn't make the move. Okay, whatever. Act in haste, repent in leisure, right? It's got 300 years to think about it. So you get a chance, check out American Greed on CNBC, and you'll see all these people completely energetically unaware, just, you know, they think, oh, remember I told you about the energies? Yeah, I can rip people off. Yeah, I can sell them a phony bill of goods. You know, I can deceive people, but I really don't mean to deceive them. I just hope that, you know, it works out and somehow I can bail myself out. Low vibration energy, win-lose strategy. Remember what I taught you tonight? Win-lose strategy. Don't care about other people, just care about yourself. Just looking for what's in it for me. Okay, that's low vibration energy, and that comes with a price. And the good news is that it always ends the same on American Greed. The guys who took the money and ripped people off, they always get caught, and they end up doing 50 to 100 years in jail. And he asked any of them, if you could do it all over again, would you do it? And every one of them says, no way. If only I had known then what I know now, I never would have done it. Well, they didn't know then because they weren't energetically aware. You are, or at least you're becoming energetically aware. So I hope this has been an eye-opener for you. If you'd like more information about my work, or studying energy awareness training, there's a couple of options you have. You can always messenger me on Facebook here. You can look at our site. We have a new website called energyawareness-secrets.com, energyawareness-secrets.com. We have a YouTube channel with a lot of videos on there. This is probably going to be added to that. And I recommend that you, if there's one thing you can do this year to move your life forward, it's studying energy awareness training, because it'll open up a whole new world. It's like having X-ray vision to so many different things that you couldn't see before. Pretty amazing, huh? Okay, Katrina, hey, thanks for everybody's giving me a lot of love. Yvonne, thanks for being on here. Josh, Kareem, makes sense, huh? Okay, so we're going to be adding, I'm also on Instagram, also under energy awareness training. I do daily posts on the energetic blasts. I put them on Facebook too. So that's going to cover it for the Facebook Live tonight, you guys. If you didn't get a chance to say hi or post anything on the chat, I appreciate it if you do that. That helps me get the word out to more people. And if you found this useful and you learned something tonight, I appreciate you just mentioning that on the chat. We do regular Facebook Lives. I do that every Sunday morning at 10:30, and we're going to start doing them now on Sunday evenings because we get a large crowd. And my purpose, I'll just leave you with this one thought. The purpose of my work, energy awareness training, is to do two things: to end emotional suffering in our lifetime. There are now skills and tools that can minimize, reduce, and eliminate emotional suffering. And these are the tools and the skills that I teach in the training. So my goal and my vision for our lifetime here is to be able to, everybody has the tools to be able to deal with low vibration energy. So whenever there's anxiety, stress, worry, doubt, grief, fear, we have the energetic tools to neutralize that energy and to move back into a high vibrational energy. Okay, that's the first thing. And the second is to be able to help everybody achieve energetic and emotional freedom. What's that? It's the ability to stay happy, joyous, and free in a high vibration energy state, no matter what's going on, no matter what's going on in your life, no matter what the spouse is doing, the kids are doing, what the economy is doing, even what the body's doing. There's a part of you, the energetic part of you can always maintain a happy, alert, and a high vibration energy no matter what you're going through. And this is what I teach my students, especially my advanced students, on how to do. So if that resonates with you and it's something you want to learn more about, please contact me at any of the ways I told you, Facebook Messenger or the Instagram or the YouTube channels, whatever. And I'll be happy to talk to you about this, either me or my assistant, Dante. You'll see him a lot posting, who does a great job in being able to convey the work here. So with that, I'm going to bid you guys a very happy and high vibrational energy evening. Hope you guys have a great week. Make it a high vibration energy week. And remember, nothing changes until energy moves. So when you're moving your energy, you're in high vibrational energy. And the greatest way to be in high vibrational energy is to be of service to others, to share kindness and gratitude for your wonderful, blessed, magnificent life. This is Glenn Ackerman, Energy Awareness Training. We'll talk again soon. Love and blessings to you all. Good night.